Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Footy Casuals. So we're back after a little hiatus. We kind of missed a round or two, but we're back for the final. Woo! But yes, hello, Brian. How have you been?
I'm great. The final is all that matters, so we'll be able to
Yes,
see the champion. Nah,
exactly.
we were able to keep up with the games, and like we were like messaging each other our predictions of like who we thought was gonna make it anyways, even though we knew we kind of were gonna have time to upload. So we're like, at least so we know what we would have had and stuff. But yeah, it's been pretty cool though. It's getting a little slower now though, now that all these games are kind of over and it's just the final left.
Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much how it's been. Really, like we didn't get a chance to put the other one out. We were gonna do it like we were gonna have a chance to do like the first day's game, so it would have made no sense for us to upload like half of the round prediction.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, we'll just push it back. It's all good. What's the point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like some of these games, low key, were like a little anticlimactic compared to
Low
what we
key,
expected
more
them to
like
be.
high
So,
key, man. I don't know about you, man.
yeah.
I'd say more high key, but yeah.
So I feel like I don't know. I feel like it wasn't too bad of a week to miss. But yeah, we're here for the final, the most important games, and it's looking to be a pretty boring final, honestly, if I'm being so honest. Like I don't know. Like I feel like it could be a lot better, and I'll explain why. Like you look at the teams and like if you're English, you're probably like, oh, this is gonna be such an exciting final. Or if you're Spaniard, you're like, oh, this is such an exciting final. But I feel like if you're any other person, it's just like, like I don't know. Like same with the Argentina Colombia. Like I feel like if anything, that game will be a little better. But then you look at the Copa America games and you're like, is it really gonna be better? Like I feel like the Copa America has been a little shocking, but yeah,
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you're pretty spot on there. Yeah, these games have been very interesting. So I'm just like, I can't even. They've been so trash. I can't even be bothered to watch these games. That's how bad they've
yeah,
been. I'm like, I can't be bothered to watch this game at all. So I'm like, I'm just
yeah.
not gonna watch it because it's been trash.
There's definitely been like one or two of these games where I've like not even wanted to watch them because I'm just like, there's no point. Like you know who's gonna win, and then like you see the style of play, and it's just like, oh, like do you want to put yourself through 90 minutes of seeing just everybody park the bus, like do literally nothing? But I mean, I don't know. I've kind of put myself to watch some of these, but I mean, there's some that I've definitely like regretted watching. A lot of them, I should say, a lot from the Copa America ones. But even some of the Euros ones now, it's getting pretty like I feel like England's run is kind of what's been making every game a little dreadful because if it wasn't for them, I feel like we could have had a pretty entertaining final. But I mean, we'll see, we'll see. Maybe it comes home.
I don't know, man. Don't hold your breath. Is all I'm gonna say. You just never know. But yeah, we'll kind of breeze through like the quarters that we didn't get to like react to our predictions and like the outcome, and then we'll just kind of go through the semis and then make our predictions for the finals. But we'll start with the Copa America because I feel like it's a little easier and quicker to do since I don't know. It wasn't to me the craziest or the best tournament as you would expect, from a tournament like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Start. I knew for a fact that even though it was a shocker, that Canada knocked out Venezuela, I knew that Argentina would win because they barely. Even though Argentina didn't do the best against Ecuador and they've been kind of lackluster this whole tournament, I knew there was no chance that they would lose to Canada here. I just couldn't see it at all. Like everything was in their favor, and Canada just didn't show up that game. I feel like they played much better against Venezuela. They showed that they came to fight, they came to win. I thought Venezuela would for sure meet Argentina in the semifinals, but that didn't really happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, what do you think, Brian?
For the Argentina Canada one, I honestly this is one of the ones too where like I knew there was no hope for Canada because it's just like one of those games where like they kind of put out such a big shocker against Valencia that like you kind of know usually when a team does that, they don't really replicate it again. Like it's hard for you to do the same performance back to back because that has to be like one of their best performances they put out in a while. So like the fact that they did that, I didn't think they were going to be able to recreate it, and I feel like Argentina always finds a way to get themselves to the final, whether it's a scandalous way you would say or a regular
Uh,
way. They somehow always manage to get their way. So yeah, I kind of had this prediction. And do you want me to run through some of the quarterfinal ones? Because I can recap us all on those if you wanted me to.
which ones?
Oh, the quarter like the Argentina, Ecuador, Venezuela, Canada.
Um, well, yeah, yeah. Go ahead, because I'm not gonna lie to you. Like some of these games, like have been so boring, or I haven't really cared. Like I'm not saying just because Mexico knocked out, that I don't care for these games. But most of these games have been very trash and lackluster, and everybody's kind of underperforming and not playing that they normally would. So I'm just like, do I really want to watch these games? So
Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
a lot
I'll,
of the
I'll just
times, yeah.
I'll just run us through them really quickly. So the Argentina Ecuador game, I feel like it was pretty self-explanatory. I feel like everyone kind of thought Argentina was gonna win, but this did end up being more of a sell from Argentina than it was Ecuador, or no, more of a sell from Ecuador than it was like Argentina ended up like putting on this massive performance. Ecuador ended up getting a penalty, or they Argentina ended up scoring. Then Ecuador gets a penalty, and Valencia misses it. He hits the post, and then they kind of sell there. Then they end up scoring really late, and then they go to penalties. And once again, your favorite goalkeeper of all time, Emiliano
Oh yeah.
Martinez, two crazy saves. The second one had to be one of the craziest saves I've seen in a while in a penalty shootout. But he ends up saving them again, and he gets them to go through. Also, let's not forget, Messi did miss a penalty in this penalty
It
shootout.
was
He tried going and he hits the post. Like, I don't know what dude was thinking. Like, I don't know. I feel like he was just like a little. I don't know. There's something about Ronaldo and Messi's performances these tournaments that I've been like, I don't know. You're starting to see, definitely starting to see a little decline, but it is what it is. Then we move on to that was that game. Summed up, they ended up scoring, or they ended up just scoring all their penalties besides Messi, so they ended up winning. Then the Venezuela Canada had to be one of the most shocking performances of all time by Venezuela. Like these dudes actually like shit the bed. Like don't ignore my language there, but like these dudes could not do anything to save their life. Like I feel like they had played the most defensive football against Canada, ironically, because
yeah.
Canada not the bestest of teams, and like I feel like it was a shocker for them to even be here. So the fact that they kind of were like putting up this such an attacking performance against Venezuela and they were not able to respond, and I feel like Canada scoring very early kind of rattled Venezuela, so they kind of weren't able to do anything. Then they ended up getting a goal pretty late, and after that, Venezuela kind of turned it up. But even then, like Canada just kept attacking, attacking, attacking. They had multiple chances where they could have ended up like finishing the game then and there, but then they go to penalties and then they sell so bad. Venezuela is, I believe, two, and then two or one. I don't recall, but they ended up missing one, and then oh no, this was the one where it's like a
This
horrific
was
penalty.
like the worst penalty shootout
Yeah,
I've seen in my life. I was like,
this was
what
when
the heck is going on? What is happening?
yeah, I think this was the one where they missed one, then the other team missed one, then the other team like
Yes,
saved
it,
it.
pretty
Yeah, it
much
was
it
this
was,
one.
yeah.
One of the worst penalty shootouts of all time, but I mean, Canada got it through in a scrappy way. So, I mean, congrats to them. Shocker, Venezuela definitely deserved to get out after that performance they had put up, though.
They had a
Then,
chance. I think I seen that. Didn't they have a chance to like slot it to win it and they missed it? Venezuela. I forgot. I'm pretty
yeah, I
sure.
believe so.
Pretty sure there
I think,
was like that.
yeah, yeah, but then that was basically that game. Then there was the Colombia Panama. I will not lie. I was watching this game
To
and every like I after like the second goal, I kind of just stopped watching it because it was just I knew what the outcome was going to be. Like you can tell Colombia was so dominant over Panama. Panama could not do anything. They ended up starting to like let goals in by like dumb errors, like the goalkeeper kicking it out and then like Luis Diaz just tipping it over. Like they were just dumb little mistakes that they ended up piling like three goals in like 10, 15 minutes. So after that, I was like, yeah, man, like it's over. Like there's no point in watching this. So that game was that. It was pretty self-explanatory. It ended up being 5-0, if that can tell you
yeah,
for reference. But then there was Uruguay and Brazil, and this had to be a UFC like 304 match card because this had to be one of the most like one of the most worst games I've expected because us thinking we're like, oh, Brazil Uruguay, two big teams, it's gonna be a crazy game. Vinny didn't play though, but we're like, you know what's still gonna be a crazy game. Endrick played, man did nothing. I mean, I feel like they were just set up for failure from the very beginning. Like, I don't know. I feel like something was off, like from the very beginning, but there was a lot of fouls, nothing really happening. Like, I feel like none of these teams kind of had like a great like an advantage over the other. Like I feel like I didn't see one attacking more than
Yeah.
the other. I feel like they were both pretty even. So it ended up going to penalties, and then in those penalties, your boy, or I should say, all of Brazil, they all tried doing Neymar's little run up penalty thingy, and Eder Militao ends up missing, and I think what's his face what's the other dude's name? He also misses. Douglas Luiz.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's
He
right.
also missed. Yeah, so I mean, they kind of just sold, and then Uruguay just bagged all of theirs. So I mean, that was that game. But yeah, then we go to the semis where there was Argentina Canada. We kind of just talked about that one where like we just had a feeling Canada was a little too. They were up against too big of a challenge with Argentina, but then there's the Uruguay Colombia game, and this is the one that actually got me so mad because I think it's time to say that Darwin Nunez is not it, man. Like the inconsistency, like I was thinking and hoping for his sake that in this tournament he would figure it out and he would end up like getting the extra little push to be the star that he was so called said to be. Because I was like, you know what? I was like, he doesn't have the stress of having to play for what's it? What are they freaking called? They can't. I drew a blank. What's his team in the Prem again?
Liverpool.
Yeah, there you go. I
Almighty
literally could
Liverpool.
not. I could not get their name in my head for to save my life. But anyways, so we obviously knew Darwizzi's struggles with Liverpool, so I was kind of like, in my head, I was just like, maybe he obviously had a little slump once he came from Portugal. So then I was just like, maybe all he needs is like a tournament where there's not much pressure on him because this Uruguay team was very, very good. And like I feel like they were putting up performances even when he wasn't like really performing, they were still
Yeah.
performing. So I was like, you know what? And they were so attacking, like they would give this dude chances after chances after chances. So I was like, if there's ever been a time where like you don't have no stress on you, like you literally get to go perform for your nation, like you have everything, like all the support possible. Like for once, he does not have people hating on him and everything. Like he's actually has a lot of support behind him, and dude was still just not able to figure it out. Like tell me how. Tell me how
Exactly.
Colombia scores the 39th minute. They get a red in the 45th minute, and for a whole half, Uruguay cannot score one goal. One singular goal. And this dude had like five or six chances after the red card, and he could not bag one. Like, I don't know, man. It was horrible to watch. I'm not gonna lie. Even the fact that they brought in the boy Luis Suarez, like as and hope that he would like figure it out. Like, there's no way that they thought that was the answer. Like, once that happened, I kind of knew it was over. I was just like, they're literally throwing everything out. If they don't score in like 5 minutes, I was like, it's over. Cause like it just showed that they look like so depleted. And then like and Colombia after that red card, like they had to take out Rodriguez, and like James has been carrying Colombia. Like if you've been
Yep.
watching these games, James has been putting in a shift. So the fact that they took him out, I was like, oh god, like there's no way this is the way they're gonna lose, right? But then they somehow ended up just defending their way to a victory. And at the end, they could have had two goals, but they missed both chances. I forget. I'm pretty sure it was the same dude actually. I forget his name. Let me see if I can see it really quickly. I think it was it Lerma? No, it wasn't. Who was it that missed? But yeah, that dude sold them. They could have easily won that game like 2-0 towards the end without a stress. But I mean, hey, it ended up happening. And now they're gonna have to play without Munoz in the finals. So we'll see how that
Yes.
goes for them. It was a very dumb red card for him to get, similar like in the US one, which just loses his cool and ends up elbowing somebody right in the chest like any time of the week. That's gonna, especially if you connect the way that he connected, that's always gonna be a red. So very dumb on his part. But yeah, this game was very shocking from Uruguay, and I was actually very disappointed because I had Colombia winning this game. Like as you can tell, that I had Argentina and Colombia in the final, but I did not have it where they were gonna like literally be down to 10 men and then not be able to score. Like
Yeah.
was not predicting that, but yeah. Thoughts?
Well, so I knew that Brazil was gonna underperform. I just had a feeling going into the tournament, like their form and how they were playing, and then I just had a feeling that they were gonna underperform and that they were gonna get knocked out here and now against like Uruguay and I said the winner is gonna come from the side of Uruguay or Colombia, and I thought for sure Uruguay was gonna win it. Like I get it that Colombia, I think they've only won it once.
Yeah.
The Copa America, I think it was like in '01, but it was a while ago for sure. And I know that Uruguay is I think tied for joint top most with 15 with Argentina, but I really wanted Fede to win it, and he had been saying
Yeah.
that he would trade two of his UCLs for a Copa America, and I was like, this is his chance. Like it might be a lot easier this time. This is his chance to do it, but unfortunately they weren't able to get it done. Like Brian said, I was very disappointed with Darwizzi. Whenever he plays these big games, he just disappears, unfortunately, and that was Uruguay's demise. It's sad to see them go out like that. I was really rooting for them. I had them to go all the way and win it, but like I said, it was gonna come from this side. I feel, and that's what I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, and we'll talk about the prediction, all that stuff. But that game was just a disaster with the after the game with
Oh yeah, we
the
can touch on that
fights,
for sure.
the riots, the like. I'm sorry, but like the U.S. is looking really bad right now because like how do you let that happen? How do you let that like go on? And there's supposed to be a World Cup here in 2 years from now, so I don't know how it's gonna go down with them being like that. So they got to figure something out. I even saw that clip. I'm sure you saw it too, where Bielsa was like ripping everybody, like
Yeah.
for all the stuff and whatnot that was going down during the tournament. But
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of things going on right now with that, and like I don't know, with that problem itself, I feel like there's definitely a side of the story that's true that we need to figure out very quickly because one end we're seeing that Darwin's saying that he was kind of protecting his family and that his family was like getting harassed by like all these people. But then there's another angle of like him trying to slam chair into like people's or into fans' faces before all that altercation. So I'm just like, I don't know. Like there's definitely a side of the story that's not true and is not adding up, but look for a very hefty ban for a little while, I would say, or definitely a fine that's gonna be for the ages for him and a lot of the players on Uruguay.
yeah, I think it was like 11 players, if I'm not wrong, that we're gonna get some type of punishment. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, it's just not the way you want to go out. But they got to figure it out. Like I said, because the World Cup's in 2 years, they got to figure out the grass situation and then everything else that's going on. But yeah, so kind of was like a little bit of a rundown, kind of a quick one. But yeah, so I already knew what was gonna happen in a way. So I'm not surprised kind of how things went. Like I said, I thought it'd be the winner would come from the right side of the bracket regardless instead of the left side. But yeah, I'll say my take and then I'll let you say your take, Brian. But Argentina's been playing so poorly. Like you watch them play, and you feel like they're like a shell of their former self. Like they don't seem the same Argentina that that was dominating and like doing so well. So I feel like I'm hoping, like I said, even though Fed doesn't win it, I want James to win it because I mean, like I said, I always have I always get like some type of attachment towards the players, and sometimes when it doesn't end up the way you would want them to, it's obviously kind of sad. Like the way he went out, like obviously they didn't really want him anymore, and he was kind of declining, or he wasn't really fitting in too much with like the scheme, and then he just went on his way, and it was kind of sad to see him go out that way. So it'd be cool to see them lift the Copa America, considering, like I said, that Colombia doesn't really win it, not at all, let alone offense. So it'd be cool to see Colombia lift it up with James as the captain. So I'm gonna go Colombia to win this one. I feel like just like no bias. Like I know I have my thing towards Argentina and like Messi and stuff like that, but I just feel like they just look like their former selves. They're really shaky, so I can't see them beating this red hot Colombia team who is 28 games undefeated, or I guess unbeaten is the word, but yeah.
So for my final prediction, I'm gonna keep it the way that I had it. I had Argentina and Colombia the final, and I had Argentina winning the final. I don't think they're as strong, and I feel like if there's definitely ever been a chance, it's this chance for Colombia to win it because I feel like Argentina is not the squad that they've been in the World Cup and like how they've kind of been recently performing. They're looking actually pretty shocking, and Messi coming back from his injury did not look good. So I mean, we'll see how he looks in the final, but I'm sure one way or another they're gonna end up scratching this way through. I wish Colombia, and I kind of hope Colombia wins because it would be nice to see James win as well. Like I feel like he kind of deserves it, and he deserves to be the man of the match of this whole tournament because he's been playing like up to crazy levels. But yeah, like I said, I think Argentina's gonna just end up winning it. They somehow always do, and I think it'll be probably I'll say 2-1. And then with the match for third place, I'll have Uruguay beating Canada just because I feel like Canada's luck is all the way out, and Uruguay is going to be very angry because they are not in the final. So yeah,
I forgot about the third place match, and I didn't give my score prediction. I'm gonna go Colombia 1-0, and then for the Uruguay game, of course, they're gonna beat Canada, and I'm gonna give like a good 3-0. I feel like Uruguay is gonna give them the business,
I
but
will also go
yeah.
now for Uruguay.
Okay, cool. But
Yeah, that's good.
yeah, like I said, not to be biased and like be hatred towards the whole Messi and Argentina agenda, but just saying, look at the easy route they have to the final, and then like some of the calls that they have like going their way, and like the final is in Miami or like it's at not Miami. I think it's in Miami, but it's in Florida
Yeah,
regardless. So it's like,
my,
is it Miami? Okay, I was like, it's in
yeah,
Florida regardless. So just saying like how coincidental, you know. And then back in the day they used to only do this tournament like every 4 years, and they've been having it so often in the last couple of years. It's like, for what, you know? Like, nah, like, you know, like, I don't want to be the one to be like, oh well, it's because they're trying to get it for him. But I'm just saying,
yeah,
the Pats are looking very, everything's looking sus. That's all I'm gonna say. So
yeah. No, I feel like after that Ecuador game, like I feel like it was just scripted. Like if they were gonna lose, they would have lost it there. But like I feel like everything somehow circled back here. So I'm like, if they made it here, they're gonna win it. But yeah, it is what it is.
yeah, but yeah, speaking of that, let's move on to the Euro. Yeah, so I was so I'll start with the Spain one. I was so sad to see Toni Kroos go out like that, especially like it was kind of controversial and with like that Cucurella handball. Like I know they said that since he was offside
Yep.
that the handball doesn't matter. It just sucks to go out that way. Like I was hoping they'd at least go to pens, and Germans are pretty good when it comes to pens, so I feel like they could have had
Yeah.
it on pens. Honestly, it was just
There was two
unfortunate.
occasions where it could have been a handball for Cucurella. Two of them.
Yeah, my guy's out. Your guy's out here, Brian. He's doing too
He's out here
much.
finals. So
Yeah, my
just
guy's out here handling the ball with his hand. So
no.
I don't know,
Yeah.
man. But yeah, but I mean, Spain played good. Like we already knew that it was gonna be like a great game. You know, Germany was also playing very good, and yeah, it was just unfortunate. Like, you know, the last minute winners. It's like there's been a lot of FIFA type outcomes in these ones. You know, with the last minute winners and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
it happens. You know, Spain were obviously looking really strong after the group stage, and they looked like favorites to win it all. But yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
so kind of for me, I feel like what did Germany here was Kai Havertz. Like
bro, I forgot
Kai
about
ha-
that.
I feel like Kai Havertz playing a full 90 is kind of what sold them because I feel like if he would have been say he didn't play this whole game, right? And it was like Fulkrug or something.
Yeah,
I feel like they would have put up two goals before the regular time would have ended, and I feel like they could have won this game. But the fact that Havertz keeps playing is literally what I feel like ended Germany's Euros because dude just does not sink anything, and I feel like he's kind of just like a waste of space up there. And I know that sounds like very mean, but like it is what it is. Like you actually need someone who's gonna be able to bag your goals, but this dude cannot do that to save his life. And against this Spain team who's very quick and young, like these dudes are hungry and they're lucky for them. I would say they have the best center defensive mid in the world right now. And I feel like it's great to have that as an advantage because their defense has been pretty solid recently. And the fact that he's kind of been able to control that whole midfield by himself, he allows Spain to be so attacking. So it's just like you have to put up goals in these kind of games. And the fact that they have Havertz as like their last result or their last like resource to be able to score is like kind of sad because they have other people. Like they have Fulkrug, but they do not want to play him for some reason. Like they just don't want to start this dude. And then like obviously Words too coming off the bench. Like I feel like he's one of those people that has to be playing in this game. But I mean, it is what it is. Like it just turns out to be that way. But yeah, I feel like Spain's attack was just way too much. And I feel like we're starting to see Yamal and Nico Williams start like really, really blossoming. Like there was a couple games where they were putting up great performances, but like we could have thought it was a fluke. But like they've been doing it so consistently now, where it's just getting very scary. But at the end of the game, oh, and also don't let me disrespect my boy Danny Olmo. This guy has been looking amazing the last two games. Like the touches this dude gets, the passes he's creating, the shots he's taking are just amazing. So shout out to him. He's actually been like carrying the Spain team these last two games, and we'll get to the next game right now, like very shortly. But yeah, dude's been putting in a shift for Spain right now. But Carvajal did end up getting a red card in this game, but soon to find out it didn't matter after all. Then what's our next game?
This side of the table, man, was so disappointing for me. Like I was very sad this day. I'm like, Tony Cruz is officially done with the footballing world. His career is over. And then the Portugal game, you know, like after such a great game. I mean, it wasn't a great game, but after like that goalkeeping performance in the round of 16, you know, they couldn't replicate it.
Yeah.
But oh, that's right. Oh my, let me get me started, man. So I said that they're getting so it came out for a second that they were going to not play Camavinga and they were going to play, I think they said, like, Griezmann in center mid. I was like, oh my God. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, there's no way they're doing this. I'm like, this is ridiculous. At this point, he's trying to sabotage the nation because he wants to play his guys. I'm just like, nah, man, it's about winning it all. And I couldn't believe it. But they played Camavinga and he had a great game, which, surprise, surprise, you know. He ended up playing a great game. Like, I'm not surprised at all by that. And he had some good opportunities. He could have scored, I think, like twice. He could have scored. Portugal, I don't know, man. They just did not show up today. Like, everybody kept missing a bunch of sitters, a bunch of opportunities that they could have put the game away, but they just could not. So, obviously, it went to pens. And, man, France's pens, man, they were clean. Like, there were some really good pens. So, they were really hard to guess, let alone stop. It's unfortunate, but it's funny because I told Brian this because he is a Chelsea supporter and they just got rid of Joao recently, Joao Felix. So I was like, when I was watching it, I said, this guy's going to miss. I could see it. I could tell. He's going to miss it 100%. And then he missed it. And I was like, I freaking knew it. I knew he was going to miss it. You could just tell that he didn't know what was going on and this and that. So I don't know what's going on with him, but like, he's just hasn't been doing the best. He hasn't been like who he was before, who he showed like when he was showing flashes and the talent, which is what caused Atleti to spend over 100 mil for him. You know, like he's struggling hard. He couldn't adapt to Atleti's system. He couldn't adapt to Barca's system. He did so bad in Chelsea's system, and then now where does he go? Like who even wants this guy? You know, so yeah, I wasn't surprised that he missed. I was annoyed, but I wasn't surprised.
Yeah, I feel like this was one of the more like boring games that I haven't really wanted to like actually stay watching. Like I feel like it was very shocking from both ends. They were just performing very horrible and like I don't even want to come at your boy right now, but like I'm scared that we've seen your boy peak at these tournaments like after the World Cup performance, like you've seen him turn into Superman and everything. He started carrying his team. But then we got to the Euros, and this man's actually been a ghost. Like Mbappe he's the best player in the world right now. Like let's not get it twisted. For soccer, he is the best. For football, I should say.
For soccer,
He's the best player in the world, and I'm pretty sure we could all agree. But the fact that the best player of the world is not able to carry his team the way that he should be carrying them, like scoring a goal a game at least, 2 goal a game, an assist here and there. But like this dude has actually done nothing, and it's actually kind of shocking because I'm just like, dude, like I'm getting to a point where it's just like, have we kind of peaked his little performance? Like, yes, don't get it twisted. He's gonna go to Real Madrid. He's gonna have a crazy season. But I'm talking about like now, like in this game where he's supposed to be carrying this team, he was not able to do that, and it's kind of worrying. I mean, the team around him is a little shocking from some point of views. Like they're pretty good. Don't get it wrong. The whole defense is crazy. Conte's crazy. Their attacking is not the best. It could be better. But yeah, like I was expecting a better performance from them. And then from Portugal, it was just not a good day for them. I mean, like they were all just kind of playing very lackluster. It got to the penalties, like you said. We saw Joao stepping up. You kind of knew he was gonna miss just the way he was walking up. Like he looked so nervous, looked like he had no clue what he was doing. So yeah, it kind of just sucked. And France was able to scrape another win, but I mean, I'm getting scared for your Mbappe. At least, like I said, he's gonna end up having a crazy season after all. But for the Euros itself, it was looking a little scary because he's supposed to be carrying this team and he's not doing so.
Yeah, it's unfortunately like the way they went out. Yeah, I was just expecting more, man. Like, I don't know how Portugal bounced back, and then France. Like, how do they go from here? Because obviously, even though France went through in that quarterfinal game, they're very lackluster. They just did not look good at all. Like all tournament long, they've looked so bad. The fact that they made it so far, like with how they were doing, is just crazy to me. But yeah, so we'll leave it for there from now. And but it was a hard day for me because I'm like basically all four teams had Madrid players or icons in them, so it was hard for me to like see
Yeah.
them obviously get knocked out. But that's how it be. Yeah, not much we can do. But yeah, which leads us to the next one to Netherlands and Turkey. So Turkey was up early, man, and it was looking like Turkey was really gonna pull up the upset and get past Netherlands. But Netherlands, they got it together, man, and they pulled off the result. They've been really good. I'm not surprised that they made it this far. I originally had thought they would have made it further, but they have played really good until now. They have a good squad. They have a lot of good players, and it's just you could see it on the pitch. Like with all those guys gelling well together and performing.
This was one of the ones where like I feel like Turkey scored early on, and like I feel like it was expected that Netherlands was gonna score. Like I feel like even after they had scored, I'm just like, like it's just a matter of time until Netherlands kind of like puts one in. And it did take them a while. It did take them until after halftime, and I was starting to actually get nervous for them. But I mean, they were just attacking so much; it was literally like inevitable. Like at some point, they were gonna get one, and they got one. And then unfortunately for Turkey, they let in an own goal like shortly after, literally like minutes after the first goal. So after that, it was kind of just chalk because then Turkey had to attack, 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 and I mean, Netherlands' defense is pretty crazy, so I didn't expect them to actually score. They did have some chances, but I mean, at the end, it didn't really work out. But it kind of sucks for them because I feel like this was an actual game where we could have seen an upset, like in the like later on in the rounds, because it's the quarterfinal already, and I feel like here we don't see too many upsets now, so it's kind of just like I feel like this could have been the one Cinderella team that could have made it really far, but unfortunately for them, they didn't.
Yeah, pretty much. But they had a great tournament. Turkey should be very proud, and I'm happy because Arda Güler balled out, this tournament, and I'm excited to see how he does at Madrid. But and to end off, Brian, I'll let you cap off this one because I mean I don't really have much to say about this England Switzerland game. I thought Switzerland were gonna pull it off, but England squeezed
Yeah.
through.
So once again, we get a Southgate special where England is basically parking the bus. All they do is cross the ball. They don't really do much else. They don't like have any creativity going on whatsoever. All they do is get the ball, pass back, cross, cross, cross. They can be at a corner, and there's literal footage of them at a corner. They pass it back to the midfield, thinking somebody's gonna like cross it in, and they end up passing it all the way back to the keeper, like doing nothing with the corner. So that itself was shocking. That itself was shocking. Then Switzerland scores. And then it's kind of turns into a panic mode again, where it's just like, oh, what is England gonna do? And then their egos kind of starts like jumping in. It's just like, okay, like scratch Southgate's plan. Like we need to score this because if we don't score this, we're gonna look bad. And like the players kind of start like just forget the tactics. Like let's just do it on our own. Then Saka he ends up getting a lucky shot and he kind of gets it in. You're kind of just like stuck there and you're like, okay, is England gonna like turn it up now? They just scored one. Are they gonna score another? No, they don't. They end up going to overtime. They mess up a lot of sitters. And then, like, oh my God, don't get like, they need to bench. This was the game where they needed to bench Harry Kane. Like, that dude is so shocking that this game right here alone should have told you, okay, he is not going to play no more. Like, he's not going to start. But for some reason, they keep starting this dude. Same with Foden. Foden should not have been starting after this game. Like, dude was so shocking. Same with Declan Rice. Like, I could say it about a lot of their players. This game was kind of like a very like eye opening for what should have been for the lineup because Switzerland deserved to win this game. They should have won this game.
Yeah.
If it was Saka's lucky goal that ended up letting him get to penalties, like this was all Switzerland. But I feel like once we got to penalties, we kind of knew what was gonna happen because if you look at England's side, they have so many like specialists for the penalties. Like it's not even funny that there was no way they were losing this game. Like unfortunately for Switzerland, if they wanted to win it, they had to win it before penalties because there was no way they were gonna win it in pens. So once they kind of got it to pens, I knew they were gonna scrape it through, but it should have been Switzerland all along, and England kind of threw. But I mean, like I said, it should have been after this game. You should have known to not play Harry Kane no more, not play Foden. Saka. Besides that one goal, I mean, I don't know. Like people from that are English, they're trying to say like, oh, Saka this, Saka that, but like. If it wasn't for that one goal, dude did not have a good performance again. Like I don't know. I don't know what it is. They need to stop playing Trippier on the left side. Like, dude is not in on the left side. And then, I mean, Walker, he's been all right. But also, Pickford needs to. This guy just doesn't like playing out of the back. Like, there's something. He has something against playing it out from the back. Like, dude would rather kick it to the other team than just pass it to someone in the back and have them build from the back. And I feel like that's also another thing that's hurting them. They do not like building from the back. They just like launching it and praying that somebody gets it and scores. So, like, yeah, it's horrible. This all England is horrible right now and
Yeah.
shocking. Hey, they scraped it through with another ugly victory.
Yeah, tell me about another boring victory. Like we've been saying that they need to change the lineup, they need to change the formation, or well, at least the lineup. But pretty much the same lineup. Nothing's really changed, and another boring game of Southgate ball. But it worked, and they went through. So no one's gonna say anything about that because of that. But yeah. Okay, so Spain and France. So obviously I knew that Deschamps was gonna be up to his old tricks again, and he was gonna bench Camavinga, even though he had a great performance. I knew he was gonna do it once again, so I wanted them to get destroyed so that he would get fired, because I just could not believe that he kept playing Rabiot. I'm like, bro, why do you keep playing Rabiot? Like, is Rabiot your son or something? Like, I don't understand. Like, what? Like, why does he keep playing this guy? He's not good. I've been saying it for years. Like, why do they even play him at all? And
Yeah.
I knew it was gonna happen, so I was mad about it. So I was like, I want them to get destroyed by Spain and this and that. But yeah, it was I don't know. It was an interesting game, like I said, because France obviously had their opportunities and they couldn't really take them. Um, when it came to the opportunities they had, Mbappe had some shots and he missed some shots, some, like sitters or easy opportunities that he missed, and yeah, they just couldn't get it going. And in the end, obviously Spain got the win, and they proceeded on to the final. So fun fact in this game, remember when we were talking about the lineup and the team? I said, why are they bringing old man Jesus Navas into the mix? He's literally old. Why wouldn't they bring Lucas Vasquez? And they could have used Lucas Vasquez on that day because Jesus Navas had to go out. I'm like, he can't even play a whole 90 minutes, so they had to move like Nacho to like right back, and I'm just like, bro.
Yeah.
I said it too then, and then look at it now. You know, Spain pulled it out, man. I had a feeling, you know, like after they beat Germany, I'm like, yeah, I feel like they'll probably win it and go all the way. So exciting stuff. Spain, they're the only team that gives us that has given us hope because all these other teams are playing really badly. Really boring games have been going on, but it's been a very good one. But yeah,
So actually, I feel like I was very conflicted when watching this game because I just got home from work, so I was just like, I actually got to watch the whole game. And then I seen that France scored early on, and I remember sending it in the group chat. Like France, I feel like so I had Spain winning this game because I obviously had Spain going to the final against England, but like I had Spain winning this game, but I for some reason I was just like in my head I was like it's gonna be like a 3-1 win, right? Like I feel like Spain was gonna dominate this game. Like they were gonna. I feel like I thought France was gonna score like very late to like try to get one back, but it was gonna be too late. But then they were the ones that actually scored first. And for some reason, I sent it in the group chat. I was just like, dude, are we gonna see France just dog Spain right now? Like it just felt like it was gonna be one of those days, like where it's just like, okay, they scored early, so now they're gonna get another, and they're gonna get another, and then they're just gonna like, we're gonna be like, oh, France is back. Like France, look at France. They had such a shitty tournament, but they were able to turn it around in the semis. But no, then literally shortly after, Yamal scores a screamer, and I feel like it just kills every freaking little positive hope that France had. And like you could just see it like in all the players' faces. Like even Mbappe, they kind of like foreshadowed to him because he's the biggest player on their team,
yeah,
and you kind of feel like it's just like dang, like that really went in because like it was a bit of luck. Don't get it twisted. If it hits the bar and it bounces in, it's always has a little bit of luck. Yes, he did have skill to like curl it in, but it always has some luck. So like I feel like that goal itself just like it's just like really summed in the tournament for them,
yeah,
summed it up. It's like damn, like that really just went in. And I feel like after that it was kind of just like France kind of trying, but then they get scored on literally like 3 minutes later, and then like
yeah,
it literally kills every little positive last hope that they had. Like, and once again, this is where I said I was gonna praise Dani Olmo. Dude has been playing phenomenal the last two games, and if it was not for him, I don't think they win this game. Like I feel like France could have ended up scoring one of those sitters later on in the game, but he was literally like putting in such a great performance. The opportunities he creates on the offense are actually like crazy to me because I feel like I was not one person to be expecting this. But yeah, it's like similar to what you're saying. I mean, it was kind of weird that Jesus Navas was not even able to finish the game. Like, dude, I don't know why dude got called up. They could have called up somebody else, but
yeah,
yeah, that was kind
exactly.
of. But I mean, it's scary seeing Spain move forward, and I've, like I said in the other prediction, I think it's gonna be Spain 5-0 against England. Like, I don't think they got a chance,
Yeah,
but
I know. Yeah, you're not wrong
that's just
about that. But one more thing before we move on to the Netherlands and England game, I was so mad that after this happened and they said that they're gonna keep the Shams regardless, and I was like, "Are you kidding me? Like this guy's literally picking the players that he likes. He's not picking the right players. He's picking his favorite players, and that's gonna hold the team back moving forward. And I don't like Deschamps. He's a clown in my opinion because of all the stuff that he did with Benzema and all this other stuff. Like I've never liked Deschamps, so I hope they come to their senses and fire this man. But it's not looking like it's gonna happen, unfortunately. But yeah, because he's clueless. You could tell the whole time he was just playing who he wanted to play, regardless, and he wouldn't give like people proper minutes. So I don't know. It's made no sense to me. So I'm happy about that. Um,
similarly. And moving on to the next game too, they've just announced that Southgate's gonna stay before they even play the final.
yeah,
They already said they're gonna stay for
regardless, yeah, they're gonna
4
offer him a
years.
new contract
So
regardless.
similar to Deschamps, like literally, what a crazy scenario if you're an England fan. Like you have to be so mad that like the final hasn't even played and they've already guaranteed this dude 2 more years because that dude plays horrific football, like horrific. Would you want me to start summing up this game or do you want to sum it up?
Well, I didn't watch this game at all. I don't know if you watched it. I just
Oh yeah, I did
the
watch the second.
all these games with England have been so boring. Like I've been finding time to watch England play, and I'm like, why did I spend my time watching this boring game? So I said I'm not watching this one. So I didn't really watch it.
Yeah, I
So
can sum it
I'll
up.
let you sum it up.
Yeah, so or basically, Xavi Simon scores a screamer to start off the game. It kind of gets it going. Like I feel like I wasn't expecting it, but I will give Southgate a little bit of props. I feel like this game he actually had them a little bit more attacking than they normally are. Like he had something going at the beginning because I feel like for once we were actually starting to see a lot more creativity, although they were down. but then it kind of comes up to Harry Kane. He kind of takes a shot, and then Dumfries ends up having his spikes up with the challenge, and he ends up clipping Kane. A lot of people were saying it was a controversial penalty. I think it was a clear pen. Like it's very obvious, especially if you have your spikes up that high. It's always a pen, especially if you make contact. So yeah, they get a penalty, and then Harry Kane kind of sinks it. If it's not for this goal, like this game itself needs to tell you Harry Kane does not belong on the pitch. They were like somewhat creating chances, but the fact that Harry Kane's up top and he's so slow to everything, does not create anything by himself, like they were not able to score anything, and I blame it all on him because the second he comes out, um, uh, Palmer goes in for Foden, and then Watkins goes in for Harry Kane. Literally within 10 minutes of them going in, Palmer sets up Watkins in a one-on-one, and he sinks it, and then he ends up putting him up 2-0 at the literal last minute of play before they get like 2 added minutes only. But yeah, it kind of just ends the game for them. And that one goal was a one-on-one goal that Ollie Watkins kind of created from Palmer. And that goal does not go in if it's Harry Kane. If Harry Kane is in, that it goes to overtime, and then it probably goes to penalties. Because that dude, like, just Watkins himself offers so much more different style of play, like more attacking play, because he can actually go on runs. He can actually create for himself. He is willing to take shots. Like he doesn't just like wait for it to be an actual sitter. Like he'll take a shot if he needs to take a shot. Like this dude needs to play. And for the love of God, if they do not start Palmer and Watkins the next game, I will freak out. But we know Southgate's gonna Southgate his way again. He's gonna start Foden. He's gonna start Kane, and it's gonna be the same shocking performance. But I mean, they did play somewhat better. It looked a little bit better attacking wise, but it was still the same old, same old. Literally ran the same lineup, but I mean, I feel like it was just more of a Netherlands kind of selling because I feel like if they don't give up that pen, I don't know if they end up scoring later. I feel like they kind of don't. But I mean, and it sucks because Dumfries had himself a good game if it wasn't for him giving up that penalty. But yeah, I feel like Netherlands actually played this kind of well. Depay, that dude went down very, very early with like a hamstring injury. And I feel like this kind of shifted the momentum a little bit. It kind of like caught them unexpected because then I believe they put in Veerman, and I feel like he was up there at the top, which was like not expected. But yeah, then after they kind of scored in the last minute, there was no hope, and it was kind of over. Like you just knew with 1 minute left, they weren't going to do anything. But yeah, England scrapes their way to a final, and now we'll see if it's actually coming home because there's a chance. There is a chance.
Yes, there is a chance, but I don't know how that goes. Did you think it was a pen? Cause I don't know, man. I don't think. I don't think.
I I think it was just because his boots were like he had his boot up with the spikes up. Like I feel like if it was any other way, it wouldn't have been. But the fact that he had his spikes up and he actually makes contact, I would
Yeah.
say it's a 10 because it did like I know if you like slow it down, it doesn't look as bad as it does. But like when you watch it in full speed, you can see like he clearly connects. So it's just like it's one of those where like if you don't give a pen, like you're literally gonna get so much hate. Like I feel like it was a clear pen, but I mean I don't know. I see how it could be seen otherwise. Like, it could be kind of seen as a soft one, but like he knows to not have his boots up that high and his
Yeah.
spikes up. So, like to not show your spikes.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah, there's a lot of uproar about that. Like obviously all the Dutch fans are upset about it because they feel like they were robbed because of it. It's just tough, man. Soft pens are just the worst because it could go either way. It could go for or against you, and you most of the time you
Yeah.
always end up upset about the call. So it's just tough. But I was surprised that that England got it done in the first 90 minutes for once, And I don't know what was crazy, that or the fact that Gareth Southgate actually made changes for once, and good changes, because you need to be able to make these changes if you want to win it all. So,
Yeah, and that's why I said that I did think they played it out better because I will give him his props. I mean, he did start Kane and Foden again, but I mean, whenever he knew that they were kind of shitting the bed, he did take them out pretty early this time. Well, not early, but like he
sooner.
managed to take them out when they were shocking, like at the
Yeah.
70th or 80th minute. So like I give him props for benching them. But I mean, it's all gonna come down again to will he start them in the final? Because after that performance, you have to start Watkins. Like there's no way you don't. And if you do not start them, you're gonna look so dumb in front of the England fans, and you're gonna get so much hate. But I mean, it's not gonna matter because dude's already secured himself another 2 years. But I mean, you're gonna have a lot of people hating you again.
I get
So
you, but
we'll see.
yeah, we'll see what happens. But like, cause we said, Garrett Southgate is here to stay. I don't know how everybody sees it. I mean, he just we'll put it this way. I think he has a stat. He's like the first manager to make it to two consecutive finals. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, he's very boring and he's not the best manager tactically, but he's getting you guys to the finals. You know, which is the goal. He's getting you places. He's breaking these records. He's making these stats about, you know, like how long you know, like how far you made it, you know, in these tournaments and all that. And he's done good by you guys. It's just the most boring football. But like the Italians sit back and defend and hope for the best. I mean, whatever works as long
Yeah.
as you get there and you win. It may not be pretty, but the goal is to win. It doesn't matter how you win. It doesn't matter if you win 5-0, 1-0. It just matters that you win. So yeah.
But you said the key, it matters if they win. So if they don't win, we'll see the uproar because at this point, they're literally, it's like a win or bust. Like if you do not win, it's a bust of a season. Or not a season, a bust of a
Tournament.
tournament, I should
Yeah.
say. Yeah. Because like it's to that point where like they have all the tools necessary. They literally have it all. Like they were supposed to have the best attack. And even then, they've played so horrible, but everybody in this tournament has played horrible this tournament that like they've literally cruised their way to the final. So like once again, it's will they win now? Because if they don't win, we get it. You've made it to the final last time. You made it to the final again, but can you actually secure the win this time? Because if you don't, there's gonna be a lot of negativity coming for you guys, and then you guys are gonna be seen as this fraudulent kind of team for the nation that they're kind of putting out, and then there's gonna be a lot of uproar. People are gonna want change, but they've already secured him, so it's gonna be a lot of angry England fans if nothing happens.
A lot of these England fans were already asking for him to be gone. I'm sure even now, I'm sure that they just don't like the way they've made it through. And honestly, I feel like if England was on the other side, I don't think they would have made it as far as they did on this side. You know, so
Yeah, me neither.
yeah, because Netherlands was their first big test, and it took them like finally like after so many tries of trying to get it right. So the three group games and then the two games and the knockouts, it took them essentially 5 games to finally get it together. That's a lot of games.
Yeah, they should have lost to Switzerland. They should have.
They should have honestly only because Akanji missed his. He messed up his pen. I feel like if it keeps going on pens, they lose that because I mean England isn't really known for pens. They've lost a lot of historic penalty shootouts, unfortunately for them.
Yeah.
But yeah, honestly, they've gotten extremely lucky. A lot of stuff has fallen their way, but we'll see how it goes towards the final. So, what do you think about the final, Brian? Like, how do you think each team fares up leading into this last game? You know, and who do you
Uh,
think is gonna win it?
so I kind of have to stick with my prediction. Like I feel like I already said it. I want England to win just because Palmer's on there, and I would want him to win. It would be nice to see him win. Hopefully, he would even start that game. I'm calling it now. If Kane and Foden are both starting, they're gonna lose the game. But I know I've joked about it a lot. I know I've been saying that Spain's going to win 5-0. Whenever it comes to these final games, it's never usually like a big blowout like you expect. It's always a very close game. So I'll probably give it a Spain 2-1. I feel like those scored two very early. Not very, very early, but like in the first half. And I feel like in the second half, England will get one back, but it'll be too late. But I mean, I feel like they're gonna start Kane and they're gonna start Foden and they're just gonna play the same old ball. They're gonna give up early, but Spain's one of those teams where you can't give up these goals because they will keep attacking, and they will kill you. So I feel like Spain's gonna get this upper hand, and I feel like they'll win 2-1.
Okay, I mean, I respect it. Like, very good point about that. Like, Spain's been very dangerous, especially attacking wise. You know, and then if you look at it, they haven't really been conceding a lot of goals. So
Yep.
their defense is pretty solid. You
And
know.
Carvajal back, so
Carvajal's having a great tournament, which is crazy. He's just outlasted. What's it called? He stood the test of time. So he's still, he's still doing pretty good. This is his first Euro tournament because I guess every single time the Euros came around, he either didn't get selected or he was out through injury. So this is his finally he makes his debut to the Euros like in his 30s, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, this Spain team's been looking really good. Like the whole team in general has been looking pretty solid. I can't see any holes. Like I mean, honestly, like I don't want to be biased, but obviously Robin Lin Ormond kind of sold for them against Georgia, and then I don't know, Nacho's pretty solid. Not to be biased, because obviously Nacho used to be a Real Madrid player and he's a Real Madrid legend, but I feel like Nacho's a little more of a solid option right next to of Laporte, and then with
Yeah.
Carvajal and Unai Simon, obviously, and then they've been solid, man. The whole team has been doing really good. But it's funny though. Fun fact: Morata has more fouls than anybody in the tournament.
Oh,
By
I
the way,
know.
I don't know if you saw
Hey,
that or not.
but if that tells you this dude, I don't know if you've been watching Spain, but this dude, Morata, will go all the way back on defense to try to make a tackle. So I'm giving props to that dude. He may have the most fouls, but the shift that this dude's putting in on offense and defense is crazy. So shout out to Morata. Get them fouls, man. Don't let them score.
um,
Hilarious.
yeah, I mean, he never did that before when he played for Madrid, and I don't think he does it for Atleti. But he really wants to win this, man. I mean, hey,
Yeah.
he's putting in the work and he's doing good. So that's great for them because I feel like at the moment they're gonna start going on a decline soon. Like, don't get me wrong, this Spain team is insane, but soon I think they're gonna decline a little bit because they're gonna be having that issue that a lot of teams have is where they don't have a good striker, a reliable striker up top. Because
Yeah.
I mean, they have Morata there and like Ayoze Perez and Joselu and all those guys are like already up there. So realistically, they might be a little more weaker moving forward
Yeah.
into the future tournaments. But the rest of the team is pretty solid and they're still pretty young. I feel you can easily replace any of the old guys that are no longer gonna be there. But Spain has just been
Yeah.
looking really solid. They've been attacking like crazy in all their games. They haven't just been sitting back. They have been just going all for it, and they've just been so dominant this whole tournament. It'd be dumb to go against them. The only way you go against Spain is if you hate Spain or if you're an England fan. So that's what I see it as. So yeah, but yeah. So I'm gonna go. I know Brian said 2-1, and you want to give them a goal, but I don't know, man. Like England have won their games very narrowly, like on a small thin margin. But this defense is no joke. But the
Yeah.
pieces England have on paper, they shouldn't have to struggle. But it's England, so you just never know. I would go 2-0, but I feel like that's the most. I hear there's like one of the worst stat lines because you can easily have the game flipped on you, or you could flip it. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 3-1. I'm gonna go 3-1 Spain. Spain's gonna pull it off and they win it. Um, but Jude will still get the Ballon d'Or because Vinny's I was gonna say Copa del Rey. Their Copa America was very lackluster, and Brazil didn't make it far at all. So therefore, I already saw. Have you seen the official rankings like by goal? Like Jude
Yeah.
officially is above Vinny. So
Yeah. I
um,
have.
yeah, I mean, regardless, I think it's Bellingham's now because Vinny didn't have the best Copa America. I feel like it's Bellingham's 100%. But if they win it, it's a set. It's locked in. There's no chance Vinny wins it over him. If
It's not.
if
It's
if
not a lock because when my boy James wins the Copa America, we're giving it
he's
to my
gonna win the
boy.
Copa,
We're
the
giving it to my
Ballon
boy
d'Or.
James.
I'd be down for
Just
that,
kidding.
man, but that's not gonna happen. I would love for
You know.
James to get that, but that's not gonna happen.
But yeah, nah, it's pretty much a lock for Jude, and I feel like I genuinely feel like there's actually like I'm starting to get the feeling that there's a chance for England, and if they win,
They
it
have a
just
chance for
like
sure.
clears it for 100%. So
Yeah,
if they win it, it's a lock, and even now it feels like a lock because
yeah.
of the bad that they kind of put out. But I mean,
Yeah, and
yeah,
Drew's been carrying them. Like if Drew was just going along for the ride, like that'd be different. But he got them through. He won them the game against Serbia, and he kept them in the game against Slovakia. So he's not just there. He's doing something.
Yeah.
So yeah, so Jude's doing his part. So for sure, for that reason, like it's pretty much locked in. Like it's gonna happen. Unfortunately, like,
Yeah.
but like I like no offense to Vinny, like he's great. He's obviously a great player. I like him at Madrid, but it's so hard to win the Ballon d'Or as a midfielder. Because Bellingham's been playing a cam role, but he previously wasn't even playing that. He was more of a center mid than a cam, so he wasn't really one to push up and try to be in the right place to try
Yeah.
and get a goal. Like he was always, just facilitating or defending. He was just, he was in the middle of everything. That's pretty much like his role, But so it's tough, man. It's tough to win it if you're not like an outfield player, like not outfield, but like an attacker. Like if you're not a winger
like
or a striker, it's really hard. So I'm like, Vinny has plenty of time. He's 24. He has plenty of time to win it. I know now he's gonna be competing with Mbappe, but I mean, still, like I feel like this.
Yeah,
is
I don't. I
Jude's
genuinely
chance.
feel like if he doesn't win it this time, he's not winning whenever.
Yeah, Jude.
And
No,
I will say
yeah,
that with chest.
no, it's
No,
true.
I'm saying Vinny.
Oh,
Like
you're saying
I don't think.
Vinny.
Yeah, because I don't think Mbappe will ever let that dude win one. If once Mbappe is there, it's over for Vinny. Like his chances are over. And I don't want to be the one to say it, but like it is what it is.
Yeah,
Because
I
he's
mean
always
that's
gonna have
fair.
he's always gonna have the France team, and he's always gonna be the number one option for Real Madrid. So it's gonna be like it's not like he's from like a shitty nation where not shitty nation. I shouldn't say that because no disrespect to any country, but I'm saying like where he gets placed with an unfortunate team where they kind of just aren't like putting a shift for him. Like he has a crazy stacked team, so I mean, like I feel like he'll be good no matter what time of the year it is. So yeah, that's why I feel like it'll be over for Vinny. But it's just a little hot take, a little hot take.
Yeah, I mean, nothing wrong with a hot take. Like hot takes, they kind of keep us going. They're very interesting. But yeah, you did mention that before about you think that Mbappe won't let Vinny win a Ballon d'Or, but I mean, I don't know. But even then, I still think Vinny has a better chance of winning it in the future as opposed to Jude, because like Jude had a crazy good season, but he might not have
Yeah.
a season like this ever again.
Nah, Jude. Yeah, Jude ain't having another because even like that, once Mbappe comes, he's gonna get more of a center mid role than like the attacking role he kind of
Yeah,
had.
exactly.
Well, yeah,
Yeah, it should be an interesting final. I am pretty sure I will watch this one.
yeah, I am too.
Yeah, but it should be a very good game. I hope Gareth Southgate isn't up to the old tricks, but it's worked so far, so I don't see why he would change it. So I can't see him changing it. But you just never know. We'll see what happens. I just hope they don't try and pull off a 1-0 win or try to extend the time. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, so yeah, then that's the Euros there, and that's pretty much all that we've had to say about that. We missed out on the previous prediction, but oh well. After this, I don't know if me and Brian will still do our little rant video about the U.S. and Mexico, because I know a
Yeah,
lot of things have changed. But if in case we don't do them, we'll probably do soon our our way too early Premier League table where we think people will end up. We'll probably end up doing that, or we'll see what we talk about. Maybe like we'll go over
yeah,
some transfers because everybody's starting to get into the transfers. Because I was saying it earlier, I think when we were recording the podcast a while ago, I said there's no transfer really right now because everybody's either the Copa America or the Euro, so everything is kind of under wraps. Like it's already kind of been done behind the scenes, or it's about to get done. Like everybody's ready because of all this that's going on. You're not really hearing too much, or there's not that many like aggressive business. But yeah, so we'll see what we talk about moving forward. But yes, so that was our takes for that. And before we head out, anything you want to say, Brian? Anything else you want to bring up?
nah, I feel like the U.S. are gonna win the World Cup, and that's about it.
Yeah, man, for sure, for sure.
Well, definitely. One thing I will say, we will definitely talk about the U.S. and I feel like Mexico. I feel like I kind of just want to wait for the U.S. thing to get situated first, because for those of you who do not know, my boy is birth, as I would call him. He's officially out, so we're gonna be having someone new coming in. But there's a lot of backlash actually right now with a lot of people like talking about the U.S. and like how things are just the federation and everything. I was just like rolling, so I kind of just want to see how that rolls out, see
Yeah,
who gets hired, and then I feel like from there we could actually like talk about it. Same with the Mexico situation.
Oh man, there's a lot to add on to that one, but a lot of things are developing as days goes on. But yeah, very true. We'll see where we go with it in the next one. But yeah. So thank you guys very much. I really appreciate it. So Brian, do you wanna tell these people all the great things they could and should be doing when they hear our podcast?
Yes. They should follow, give us a 5-star rating, like, subscribe, all the above. Leave a comment, anything you want. Give us your takes. But yeah.
Exactly. Let us know who you think is gonna win it, and what are you excited about this season coming up? Like, what are you most looking forward to? I don't know about you,
Uh,
Brian, but I'm most excited. I've seen my boy Kylian, the Turtle Mbappe in a Madrid kit finally.
I'm 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 the most excited to see Chelsea top the league, but I mean,
Oh,
uh, just kidding. Nah, I feel like I'm kind of just excited to see how they're gonna play under Enzo. Like I feel like it's gonna be very different, and I feel like we might actually see a nice attacking side of football. So I'm excited for that.
well, that's exciting because I'm not the biggest fan of the whole like worst comes to worst, we're gonna get a draw out of this game type of style. You know, like the
Yup,
just sit back or just just do what you can to hold on and just get through it.
literally.
You're not the biggest fan of that kind of play style, really. So, but thank you guys very much for tuning in, like all that good stuff. Anywhere you get your podcasts, is where you can listen to this podcast. Make sure you let all your friends, nephews, cousins, brothers, sisters, uh,
Dogs, neighbor.
yes, all those people, let all them know about it, about our podcast, and yeah. So we will catch you guys in the next one.
See you guys.